Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jim, can you just text Doreen and have her join us again? And I think we're recording and we should be good to go.
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
Do you want to put the flag up now, or do you want?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Okay. Can we stand for the flag salute, please?
The United States of America.
And
To the republic for which we stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty
and justice for all.
Okay, we have the superintendent's report now.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. This evening, there are 2 items under my superintendent's report. First, I will start with Ms. Pouch. She is here to present the New Jersey Student Learning Assessment Science results. Just like we do with the NJSLA Math and Language Arts results in the fall, we've received our results for science, and we're required by the state to report out to the Board of Education. Before the school closure, we presented to the Ed Tech Committee, I want to say probably 2 months ago, because it was before the closure, but we have to report out publicly to the whole board. So what I'm going to do is put myself on mute, and I'll have Sarah, I will present for you, Sarah. I'll share my screen, and Sarah, just let me know when you want me to advance the slides.
Good evening, everyone. As Dr. Hart said, I'll be sharing with you our district's results for the NJSLA-Science for 2019, which were taken just about this time last year. Next. So the NJSLA-Science standards were adopted in 2014. There was a rollout to 612 first, and then implementation to K-5 began in September of 2017. There's a significant difference between the NJSLA-Science and what was also formerly known as the New Jersey Assessment of Skills and Knowledge, for NJ-ASK. These standards are much more rigorous, and they focus on the application rather than memorization of content. Next. This new assessment measures student proficiency against the New Jersey Student Learning Standards for Science. One of the primary purposes is to identify curricular strengths and weaknesses. And our first administration of this assessment was in the 2018-19 school year for our official benchmark. And in 2018, we did participate in a field test, but we weren't given any of those results. Next. The NJSLA for Science assesses students on their understanding of explaining scientific phenomenon and scenarios. There are performance-based parts of the assessment as well as machine scorable, and there's also technology-enhanced items. Next. The assessment covers the disciplinary core ideas, which are the fundamental ideas for a given science discipline, and those core ideas are grouped into 4 domains of physical science, life science, earth and space science, as well as engineering. Science and engineering practices then are further grouped into, the 8 practices are grouped into 3 categories of investigative practices, sense-making practices, and critiquing practices. Reddington's results this year have us at a level, they report out as proficient or advanced proficient. Our 5th graders, we had 53% of our district 5th graders score within the proficient or advanced proficient range, and 23.3% of our 8th graders, which both are above the 29.3 or 19.8 for the state. Broken down for 5th grade, you can see we have our district comparison to the state in the 3 domains that I mentioned of earth science, life science, and physical science, and then the 3 categories of the science practices for investigating, sense making, and critiquing. Here for science, unlike NJSLA, math, and ELA, we're used to seeing our 4 categories of exceeding expectations, meeting, near, and below. For science, this year they decided to put the having near the expectation and having met the expectation as one large group, which would be that purple in the middle. In 8th grade, we have, again, the same breakdown for the practices as well as the domains. And again, we're looking at the near or having met the expectations as what and above expectations is considered having passed. Looking at our subpopulations, we have our results for race broken down with 5th grade as our blue bars, dark orange as our 8th grade, and then a district combination as the gold color. We also have our breakdown by gender so that we can see our female and male percentages of having met the expectations. And then finally, our subgroup of programs, our gifted and talented, 504s, English proficiency, special ed, and general education. So as I had mentioned, these are our initial results. This would be considered our baseline data, and comparisons will be made from this point forward. This data is used along with other data that's collected to identify strengths and weaknesses within programs and to help drive our instruction. Unfortunately, when the results come out this late, it's very hard to do anything with these results, considering we would have been taking the test now had the schools not closed. So we look forward to taking this information. We've looked at it as a science department and looked at what we can do to improve our instruction to work towards, improved results for next year, or when we do get to take the assessment again. Any questions?
Yes, Sarah, this is Eric. And first of all, thank you very much for the presentation. Several slides ago, it appeared, and I may have misread it, it went by rather quickly. It appeared that the 8th grade numbers showed that I think it was 23.3% of our 8th graders were proficient or advanced versus I think it was 19.8 of the state.
Correct.
And I was just wondering, that seemed, yes, this one here, thank you. It just seems to me low. That our 8th grade, that 23.3% of our 8th graders are proficient, and it doesn't seem like that we're that much significantly more proficient than the state average, which I would hope that we would be. Can you speak that, please?
Absolutely. It's the same thing when you see numbers like this, you immediately kind of pause and say what's going on. I think it's a combination of, it was the first year of the full implementation of the assessment. There is a large technology piece to this assessment, and what the students are asked to do and in the time frame that they're asked to do it certainly has a significant impact. Having watched the state testing for NJSLA, for math and ELA on a regular basis, I would say every implementation I've seen, our students are used to getting to the end of the test, reviewing their work, and then having 10 or 15 minutes to sit and read while they wait for the time to run out. Every 8th grade class that I watched during the original benchmark, the original pilot assessment, as well as this official one, every single student, the teachers were scrambling to find the script that's to say, you have 10 minutes left, continue to work, and every student looked up and was like, I'm not done. So I think there was a timing piece that needs to be addressed as well. The state also recognized that and increased the amount of time from the pilot assessment to the official one. I've talked to other districts and they have similar results. And in speaking to some of the representatives that we work with through our science leadership program with Raritan Valley, when I discussed and looked at our results for them to help guide our instruction, they said, wow, you guys did really good. I said, really? They said, well, yeah, compared to other districts we work with, these are very high scores. So until we can get a state report telling us how we do in comparison to similar districts, it's kind of just word of mouth, and we're piecing together the information as best we can. Several years now into NJSLA math and ELA, it's easier for us to get the information. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to gather the rest of the science information as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that answer. It is early. We don't have enough track record really to see what the trends are. You know, just it is notable that in the 5th grade, we do perform significantly better than the state. In the 8th grade, you know, I'd like to believe in Reddington exceptionalism. And I'd like to have just seen us perform. You know, if everybody in the school is doing poorly, I'd like to have just, because of the testing or the timing or whatever the reasoning is, or design the test, et cetera, just like to see Reddington do that much better. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, Sarah. It's Robin. I know in the past couple of years, science curriculum has done a kind of major overhaul. It used to be very, you know, particular science-based per grade level. At what point did we sort of switch over our curriculum? I know it was in the last few years. I'm just trying to put it together with the new testing and how that might align a little bit.
So the new testing came out after the first year that students had all of the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade standards. So there was a 2-year, 3, I guess technically, year delay from the 6th grade standards, the 7th grade standards, and then by the end of their 8th grade year, they took the pilot test. So this test is based on standards that these students didn't have the full base built. Especially our 5th graders. Our 5th graders are taking this test having had the 4th and 5th grade, the new standards in 4th and 5th grade, but never had the new standards in kindergarten through 3rd. Whereas our 8th graders who were taking this had the 6th and 7th and 8th grade standards, but didn't have the K-5 base.
Yeah.
So I would assume as we make that base stronger, I would assume that these scores are also going to improve, because this first group of students is at a deficit because they didn't have the full 8 program.
Yeah, I was thinking of that because I know, and I'm probably going to mess up the grade levels, but I know it used to be in old school, like, you know, 7th grade was always life science, 8th grade was always physical science. So our 8th graders would have missed really an entire, like the entire way that it was set up. So that might account for why that was so much lower than the 5th grade.
Yes, and we did keep the 8th grade curriculum holding pattern so that we were not sending the current freshmen to the high school with a major gap. If we had switched over everything immediately, we would have been sending them with an extreme lack of physical science standards.
Yeah, they would have missed a whole year.
So we held off and made sure that they went through with the correct information. The other thing that I found very interesting is that our 8th graders where we scored the highest as 8th graders is in physical science, and that's where we made one of the changes for the content for grade levels. So they had that full NGSS physical science piece, and that's where they scored the highest.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Sarah? Okay, Sarah, thank you for the presentation. We appreciate it. Second on the superintendent's report tonight is discussion of the school closure and then the calendar revision that is on the agenda for this evening. So I am going to present myself once I start presenting. Remember, I can't see you, but you can see me. So if you have a question, you can't raise your hand, you have to stop me, or we can just wait until the end and then ask any questions that you might have. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. So we are still in the midst of the school closure, and as you all know, recent information from the governor's office and the Department of Education has us closed the rest of the school year. So we've begun planning our calendar revision to make preparations for the closure of school. So this presentation is just to give you an overview that provides a rationale for why the calendar is being revised the way it is. And my belief is, although the calendar is being revised and we're putting in what we call early dismissal days, the impact on instruction, online instruction, will be minimal, but I wanted to at least give you an overview. So the calendar revision that's on the agenda for this evening, agenda item 6.01, we spoke last time at our last board meeting where we will use May 22nd, which was scheduled to be a snow day, emergency day, if we needed it or would be given back. We have that day that can become an online learning day. And then June 1st through 5th become teacher closeout days for the afternoon only. So we're calling these early dismissal days to ensure that teachers are still doing their instruction and office hours in the morning. June 19th becomes a teacher closeout day. It becomes a student drop-off and pickup day in the afternoon only, and this is the last day of online instruction, providing us 180 school days of in-person or now online instruction. And at the very end of the year, June 22nd, is a final teacher closeout day and opportunities for student drop-off and pickup. It's a full day for pickup, drop-off, and closeout procedures, and there would be no online instruction for that day. So the details on June 1st through 5th, we'll notify parents that we are going to be having teachers and custodians helping pack up student belongings that were left in schools. Our priority will be for teachers to gather student personal items, place in bags, and tag them for curbside pickup later on in June. Teachers will also have the opportunity to begin to clean out their classrooms for summer deep cleaning and disinfecting. So as we do every year, teachers pack up their classrooms and they close their classrooms for floor polishing, waxing, cleaning of all surfaces in the classroom. And this is particularly important for this coming summer that we'll have our night crew custodians and our custodians complete. And then the approximate hours that this will occur over the course of June 1st through 5th will be 12:30 to 4 p.m. That's when the buildings will be available to the teachers for packing up student belongings and packing up their own belongings. June 19th becomes the official last day of instruction or last day of school. So parents now will be offered appointment times between 12:30 and 4 for curbside pickup of student personal items that were packed previously by the teachers. Parents will also have an opportunity to do drop-off of district-owned material. And teachers can use this day for any further packing and cleaning and close out of their classrooms in order to prepare for summer cleaning. The approximate hours for teacher clean out would be 12:30 to 4 p.m. So again, this is an early dismissal time. Okay. June. I don't know if you are, but I can't see everybody. I'm getting a lot of feedback. I don't know if everybody's on mute. So if I could just remind everybody to check your mute button. June 22nd. Thank you. June 22nd. Parents will again be offered appointment times to come and pick up personal items, curbside pickup. Parents will also have the opportunity to do drop-off of district-owned materials, Chromebooks, textbooks, library books, items that are at home for online instruction. Teachers, once again, can use this day for further packing and cleaning, focus on personal items and preparation for the summer. This will also be a teacher checkout day where they can sign their final evaluation, complete their paperwork, hand in keys, and any other final closeout items that a building principal may have a teacher do on this day. And then the approximate hours will be earlier in the morning, like 8 a.m. to about 4 p.m. For all of these things to occur. So our goal is to ensure protection for anybody who comes into our building. The staff will be the only individuals coming into our building. We'll have teachers pack up their student belongings June 1st through 5th. This allows these packed up items to sit for 2 weeks prior to any kind of pickup later on from the parents. Packing up the teachers' classrooms earlier in June allow our cleaning crews an opportunity to clean classrooms earlier. In talking with our facilities department, our ordinary protocols is to do team cleaning, where 5 or 6 custodians and crew members would clean one particular classroom and get it done quickly. Because of social distancing and the protocols that we're under by executive order from the governor, we're not sure if we can have our team clean as quickly, as efficiently as we have in the past. So we may have to change our cleaning protocols, and this will give us a chance, with our buildings now empty, to get started on cleaning earlier. Right now, we're thinking that only 10 staff to be permitted in the building during their designated time slot, adhering to the governor's executive order. We're still waiting for some guidance from the health department and from the Office of Emergency Management to see if the 10-person gathering rule applies to school buildings, or if we have some flexibility in numbers of staff that we can allow in the building at any given time. All staff will wear masks and gloves to adhere to executive orders, and parents will be turned items in bags with student belongings, so there's no contact. So we're going to ensure that whatever pickup and drop off we do doesn't involve contact. Of course, we'll make accommodations for staff, even parents who may not be able to come during specific hours. If any staff need accommodations for a medical condition, we can certainly make accommodations for that and have the custodians or other teachers assist in packing. Teachers who wish to have access after these hours may coordinate with their principal if they'd like to come in on their own time and be in the building. If anybody has valuable personal items, I would hope that parents, if parents are out there and listening, if there's anything in the building that you need and need more immediately, contact your building principal. We have a way that we can get it to you if need be. And we do have appointments set up for parents. We can set them up for June 19th and 22nd, but if there is any other accommodations we need to make for pickup or drop off, we can certainly do that outside of those days if need be. We will have 12-month staff, in the offices beyond June 22nd. And finally, some students will require to keep their Chromebooks over the summer for ESY, so there are some Chromebooks that will still stay home over the summer. And just remember our priorities. Of course, number one is to continue to provide online instruction during this 180 school days where we're doing online instruction. The safety and well-being of our staff and students of a top priority as always. We want to adhere to the governor's executive orders, and we want to provide ample time for cleaning and preparation for September in hopes that we can open our buildings in September back to traditional instruction. And finally, I want to point out that there are still some things that have yet to be determined. The State Department of Education may be providing some guidance and protocols for packing up schools and doing some of the things that we've talked about in this presentation, or I've talked about in this presentation. We have yet to see that, but we think it's prudent for us to at least develop plans in the interim. We're not sure that we'll be able to run any summer camps or enrichment. Again, our priority is to make sure that our buildings are empty, to clean them, to have them ready for September. Of course, the governor's executive orders may change, and we just have to adjust and show flexibility when needed. We've been getting some guidance, and every time we get guidance, we can adjust some things as needed by the executive orders or Department of Education. And finally, I just want to let the board know that this plan that I'm talking to you about tonight has been sent to the Department of Health and OEM to ensure that we're complying with all safety protocols. So we will look to them for guidance just to ensure that we adhere to all of our safety protocols. So this is a presentation about the reason or the rationale behind the calendar change. So I'm going to stop sharing and come back to the meeting. Everybody still there? All right. Okay. Any questions from the board in regards to the protocols that I reviewed in the presentation or the calendar change that's on the agenda for this evening? Okay. All right, everybody. That's everything for the superintendent's report. The final thing I'll say is that we continue to be in these unprecedented events, and we are doing our best to make preparations and plan for all of the possibilities. And I hope that the communications to the staff, the board, and the parents weekly is helpful. And any new information that I get, I will surely pass on. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hart. Can you hear me? Okay. We are now open to the public, limited to action items on the agenda. So don't forget to unmute. And what do they hit if they're on the phone? Is it *6? Yes? Okay.
*6.
Or you can type a comment into the chat session and I'll read it aloud.
Not hearing or seeing anything. Moving on. Correspondence. We had one correspondence regarding transportation since our last meeting. Administrative reports. Can I get a motion to adopt 1.01, please?
So moved. Ray.
Ray.
Second, Anna.
Anna, thank you, both. Are there any questions on the enrollment or drill reports? Not hearing any, can I get a roll call, please?
Ray Egbert.
Yes.
Carol Hampel.
Yes.
Rob McCallan.
Yes.
Carolyn Pogorski.
Yes.
Andrew Saunders.
Yes.
Thomas Wallace.
Yes.
Eric Zwirling.
Yes.
Anna Shin.
Yes.
Laura Simon.
Yes.
Passes.
We have the minutes. Can I get a motion to adopt 2.01 to 2.02, please?
So moved, Tom.
Tom?
Second, Anna.
Anna, thank you both. Are there any questions or changes needed for the minutes? Not hearing any, can I get a roll call, please?
Ray Egbert.
Yes.
Carol Hampel.
Yes.
Rob McCallan.
Yes.
Carolyn Pogorski.
Yes.
Andrew Saunders.
Yes.
Thomas Wallace.
Yes.
Eric Zwirling.
Yes.
Anna Shin.
Yes.
Laura Simon.
Yes.
Passes.
Finance and facilities. Can I get a motion to adopt 3.01 to 3.08, please?
So moved, Ray.
Ray?
Second, Tom.
Anna.
Tom did it first.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Are there, let's see, we did not have a meeting, right?
No, we reported out the last meeting.
Are there any questions on the agenda items? Don't forget to unmute if you have questions. Not hearing any, can I get a roll call, please?
Ray Egbert.
Yes.
Carol Hampel.
Yes.
Rob McCallan.
Yes.
Carolyn Pogorski.
Yes.
Andrew Saunders.
Yes.
Thomas Wallace.
Yes.
Eric Zwirling.
Yes.
Anna Shin.
Yes.
Laura Simon.
Yes.
Passes.
Education technology. Can I get a motion to adopt 4.01 to 4.04, please?
So moved, Anna.
Second, Carol.
Carol? Okay. Thank you both. We have minutes.
Yes, sorry, they were late coming.
I got them.
Okay.
You want to go ahead?
So, sure. So we met on May 14th. And we talked about the remote instruction updates, but I'm going to gloss over that as Dr. Hart already talked about that. Additionally, in those comments, we did, as of May 13th, which was the day before our meeting, we had just heard that we would be allowed to do a graduation type of ceremony, like a drive-through or a wave parade. So the administration is considering the options, and they will be discussed with the principal at RMS and Chief Greco. There is a proposed change for the advanced honors math curriculum, how we qualify students for the advanced math. So we discussed delaying the start of the advanced math to the 6th grade. It's currently in the 3rd grade where we started, and they begin advanced math in the 4th grade. The reasoning for this is that students would have a stronger foundation of math skills, and it would provide more accurate identification of qualified students because they're later in their academic careers. So 6th grade as opposed to 4th grade. It would maintain that students would, in the advanced curriculum, would achieve Algebra 1 in their 8th grade, so the end result would be the same. This would be a gradual transition over the next 2 years, meaning the 5th graders that are currently in advanced would stay in advanced. The 4th graders, currently 4th graders, would also stay in advanced. And honors would continue as is. Chromebooks for next year, we're going to do the same thing we did last year. Instead of calling it an insurance package, it's going to be called an insurance safety package. It will remain at a $25 fee to bring home the Chromebook. There will be language in the agreement, this is a change, that will inform the students and parents that there is filtering software that will monitor for troubling internet searches. And we are going to maintain 1 accidental damage per year per Chromebook. Summer professional development, while a lot of this is in the air for the entire summer, the Summer Teacher Academy in July will be virtual, and it will be all technology sessions. There's 15 sessions, and the reason for this is in case there is future remote learning that we will provide a lot of technology instruction. And the August Teacher Academy, while there are 23 sessions planned, it is to be determined how that is going to be provided and if it will be. The summer programs, such as extended school year, rec, and summer enrichment. The extended school year is expected to be virtual. The summer enrichment, while we have a lot of interest for it, we're not sure yet if it will be able to run. If you recall, summer enrichment, we made some changes to what was being offered, the hours that were being offered. There was a lot of effort put into this, so it looks like the changes that were made were well received, but again, we don't know if it will run. And same thing for rec, we don't know if it can run. We are expecting that the school building will continue to be closed throughout the summer, but that's an expectation, we don't know that. And our next meeting is June 4th at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions on the minutes or the agenda items? Don't forget to unmute.
With the 4.04, you know, the plan that we're kind of approving this evening, I know that things are ever changing. So, for instance, I believe, you know, there's no graduation ceremony in there, and now we have approval of wave parades if we decide to do that. So in approving that, obviously there can still be changes coming forth. Question mark?
Yes, I mean, this has been sent to the board. I think I'd have to open up the handout, but you'll see in 4.04, I initially sent the preparedness plan to the board. It was prepared on March 12th, and you can see the revisions that have been done since then based off of new requirements from the state. I would anticipate that there could be more revision again in the future. And I will keep the board updated if there's any revisions to the plan.
Okay, thank you.
But yes, this is as up to date as possible.
Yeah, we've just never had to approve anything before, so the stamp of approval, with an asterisk, I suppose, in case things change day to day.
And there is something in there. I did have to put something about graduation ceremonies in there. I do say that, we are planning a virtual slideshow and a potential wave parade. So I did kind of leave it open in there for approval that if we decide to go one, the other, or both, we have that flexibility.
Are there any other questions on education technology? Not hearing any. Can I get a roll call, please?
Ray Egbert,
Yes.
Carol Hampel,
Yes.
Rob McCallan,
Yes.
Colin Pogorski,
Yes.
Andrew Saunders,
Yes.
Thomas Wallace,
Yes.
Eric Zwirling,
Yes.
Anna Shin,
Yes.
Laura Simon.
Yes.
Passes.
Personnel. Can I get a motion to adopt 5.01, please?
So moved, Anna?
Second, Tom.
Tom, thank you both. No minutes. Are there any questions or comments on 501?
I have a comment. I just want to say thank you to Mrs. Shuskevich for all of her years of service. She has been an amazing kindergarten teacher, and all of my boys had her. And I mean, she's just been phenomenal, and we're really going to miss her.
Anything else? All right, can I get a roll call, please?
Ray Egbert,
Yes.
Carol Hampel,
Yes.
Rob McCallan,
Yes.
Colin Pogorski,
Yes.
Andrew Saunders,
Yes.
Thomas Wallace,
Yes.
Eric Zwirling,
Yes.
Anna Shin,
Yes.
Laura Simon.
Yes.
Passes.
For communication, can I get a motion to adopt 6.01, please?
So moved, Anna?
Anna,
Seconded, Carolyn?
Carol, thank you both. Are there any questions or comments on the calendar? Not hearing any. Can I get a roll call, please?
Ray Egbert,
Yes.
Carol Hampel,
Yes.
Rob McCallan,
Yes.
Colin Pogorski,
Yes.
Andrew Saunders,
Yes.
Thomas Wallace,
Yes.
Eric Zwirling,
Yes.
Anna Shin,
Yes.
Laura Simon.
Yes.
Passes.
Unfinished business? Is there anything you want to bring up?
This is Eric. I have a question.
Mhm.
I'd like to know if the position for the coordinator of green initiatives has been advertised.
It's been advertised, and Ms. Pouch has done a first round of interviews and has identified, I think there were 2 candidates that applied, and we're discussing a finalist right now. So it has been advertised, and we're in the process.
Thank you for the update.
Yeah, sure.
Anything else for unfinished business? Moving on to new business. Is there any new business you'd like to bring up? Not hearing anything. We're now open to the public. Anything on or off the agenda? Don't forget to unmute, or *6 if you're on the phone. Not hearing anything. We're now going to move into executive session. Can I get a motion to adopt, to adjourn to executive session in accordance with the Sunshine Law to discuss the superintendent evaluation and negotiations for approximately 45 minutes, at which time the board expects to return to public session where no action will be taken. The matters discussed will be made public if and when the circumstances requiring confidentiality no longer exist. However, it is not presently known when such circumstances will exist. Can I get a motion?
So moved, Carolyn.
Seconded, Anna.
And then roll call, please.
Ray Egbert,
Yes.
Carol Ample,
Yes.
Rob McCallan,
Yes.
Carolyn Pogorski,
Yes.
Andrew Saunders,
Yes.
Thomas Wallace,
Yes.
Eric Rowan,
Yes.
Anna Shin,
Yes.
Laura Simon.
Yes. That's 7:45. All right. That's it, folks. We'll move over
Okay.
to executive now.